The fridge door swung open, revealing a chaotic jumble of expired yogurt, wilting lettuce, and a mysterious jar that might have been jam in another life. Clara Bennett, 72, froze, her hand trembling on the handle. A faint, sour whiff hit her nose, and in that moment, she realized her fridge was a disaster zone. Worse, it was a mirror of her life, cluttered, neglected, and teetering on the edge of chaos. But tonight, everything was about to change. Clara lived in a cozy bungalow in Maplewood, New Jersey, a quiet town where neighbors waved and the local diner still served pie like it was 1955. She'd retired from teaching high school English a decade ago, and since her husband, Tom, passed 3 years prior, her days had grown quieter. Too quiet. Her fridge, once a hub of family meals, now held half-eaten takeout and a lonely apple. But a chance encounter was about to shake her world. It started at the Maplewood Senior Center, where Clara attended a nutrition workshop. The speaker, a sharp dietitian named Dr. Emily Harper, dropped a bombshell. Half the stuff in your fridge doesn't belong there. And it's not just wasting food, it's risking your health. Clara's ears perked up. Dr. Harper listed 10 foods that should never see the inside of a refrigerator, and each one hit Clara like a revelation. She grabbed a flyer, determined to rethink her kitchen. Little did she know, this was the spark of a journey that would transform her home, her habits, and her heart. Wait, I've been refrigerating some of these my whole life. Which ones shock you the most? Let's compare habits and learn together. Drop yours in the comments. The 10 Forbidden Foods. Clara sat at her kitchen table, the flyer spread before her, a pen in hand. The list was bold, almost defiant, challenging everything she thought she knew about food storage. She read it aloud, her voice steady but curious. 1. Tomatoes. Clara loved tomatoes. Sliced on sandwiches, diced in salads. She'd always kept them in the fridge, thinking it preserved their freshness. Wrong. Dr. Harper's flyer explained that cold temperatures ruin their flavor, turning them mealy and bland. Clara pictured her last tomato, tasteless and sad. From now on, she'd store them on the counter, letting them ripen to juicy perfection. 2. Bread. Every week, Clara bought a loaf of rye from the local bakery, stashing it in the fridge to keep it fresh. Big mistake. The cold sucked out moisture, leaving her bread stale and crumbly. The flyer suggested a cool, dry bread box instead. Clara made a mental note to dig out the old wooden one Tom had loved. 3. Onions. Clara's fridge always had a bag of onions, tucked in the crisper, but the flyer warned that onions needed air to stay firm. In the fridge, they turned soft, moldy, and spread their pungent smell to everything else. A mesh basket on the counter would be their new home. 4. Garlic bulbs were another fridge staple for Clara, but the cold made them sprout and lose their punch. The flyer recommended a dark, dry spot with airflow. Clara vowed to keep her garlic in a small ceramic jar, ready to add zest to her cooking. 5. Potatoes. This one hit hard. Clara stored potatoes in the fridge, thinking it kept them fresh. But the cold turned their starch to sugar, altering flavor and increasing acrylamide, a chemical linked to health risks when cooked. A paper bag in the pantry would be safer. 6. Coffee. Clara's morning ritual was a strong cup of coffee, but she'd been storing her beans in the fridge. The flyer called this a flavor killer. Coffee absorbed moisture and odors, tasting stale. An airtight canister in the cupboard would preserve its rich aroma. 7. Honey Clara's honey jar lived in the fridge door, but the cold made it crystallize into a gritty mess. Honey, the flyer noted, was a natural preservative that never spoiled at room temperature. Clara smiled. She'd keep her honey golden and smooth on the shelf. 8. Olive oil. Clara's prized bottle of extra virgin olive oil sat in the fridge, but a cold made it cloudy and thick, dulling its flavor. A dark bottle in the pantry would keep it vibrant for her salads and pastas. 9. Bananas. Clara often refrigerated bananas to slow ripening, but the flyer said this darkened the skin and halted sweetness. Unless they were fully ripe, bananas belonged on the counter, ripening naturally. 10. Melons. Clara loved watermelon in summer, always chilling whole melons. But the flyer warned that cold storage zapped their antioxidants and flavor. Whole melons would stay on the counter until cut, then wrapped tightly for the fridge. Clara leaned back, stunned. Her fridge was a battlefield of bad habits. But Dr. Harper's flyer didn't stop at the 10 foods. It hinted at deeper dangers lurking in her fridge, especially for seniors like her. Food poisoning wasn't just a stomachache. It could be life-threatening. Clara felt a surge of determination. She wasn't just cleaning her fridge. She was taking back control. The fridge overhaul. The next morning, Clara stood before her open fridge, a trash bag in one hand and a notepad in the other. The sour smell hit her again, but this time she was ready. She started with a clean-out, tossing expired yogurt, a wilted head of lettuce, and that mystery jar, definitely not jam. She checked dates on deli meats. Her turkey slices were a week past due. Out they went. Listeria, Dr. Harper had warned, could grow even in the cold. And for seniors, it was deadly. Clara moved on to the 10 forbidden foods. She pulled out tomatoes, onions, garlic, and potatoes, setting them on the counter. The bread went into the bread box, the coffee into a canister, the honey and olive oil to the pantry. Bananas and a whole cantaloupe joined the counter display. Her kitchen already looked brighter, more alive. But the flyer had more wisdom. Fridge organization was key. Clara learned about danger zones that could sabotage safety. Overcrowding, her fridge was packed like a puzzle, blocking cold air. Bacteria thrived in warm spots. Clara spaced out her items, letting air flow freely. Improper leftovers. She'd been storing lasagna in deep pans, trapping heat. Shallow containers labeled with dates would cool faster and stay safe. Forgotten items. A container of soup in the back was weeks old. Clara vowed to do a weekly clean-out, making it as routine as her morning coffee. She also checked her fridge temperature. 42 degrees Fahrenheit, too warm. Bacteria loved anything above 40 degrees Fahrenheit. She adjusted the dial to 38 degrees Fahrenheit and confirmed her freezer was at 0 degrees Fahrenheit, the safe zone. Clara felt like a detective, uncovering hidden risks and solving them one by one. The Smart Fridge System, Dr. Harper's flyer, introduced a smart fridge system for seniors, and Clara was all in. It was simple, with 3 zones. Top shelf, safe zone, ready-to-eat foods like leftovers, yogurt, and jams. Clara labeled everything with a marker. Chicken soup, May 9th, 2025. Clear bins kept snacks and dips organized. Middle shelf, dairy and prep. Eggs, milk, and meal prep containers went here. Clara moved milk from the door, too warm, to the middle, extending its life. Bottom shelf, danger zone. Raw chicken and fish went here, sealed in leak-proof containers. Clara used red stickers for raw items, green for cooked, blue for dairy. Color coding was a game changer. The crisper drawers got a makeover too. One for high humidity greens like spinach, lined with paper towels to absorb moisture. The other for low humidity apples and carrots. Clara's fridge was starting to feel like a well-oiled machine. She added a weekly routine. Every Sunday, she'd check dates, toss anything questionable, rotate older items forward, and wipe spills. A box of baking soda absorbed odors, and Clara made a shopping list to avoid overbuying. Her freezer got the same treatment: small portions, labeled bags, and no freezing food she wouldn't eat. The emotional connection. As Clara rearranged her fridge, something deeper stirred. Her fridge wasn't just a box, it was a reflection of her life. For years, she'd let it fill with chaos, just as she'd let grief and loneliness creep into her days. Tom's death had left a void, and cooking, once a joy, felt pointless for one. But this overhaul was waking her up. Dr. Harper had mentioned the emotional side of food storage. A cluttered fridge reflects a cluttered mind, she'd said. Clara saw it now. Her fridge had been a mess because she'd stopped caring. But as she organized, labeled, and planned, she felt a spark of purpose. She created a joy shelf on the top rack, a small jar of peach preserves, a wedge of sharp cheddar, a slice of chocolate cake. Each item was a reminder. You matter. Clara started small rituals. Breakfast became a moment of calm. Toast with preserves, a cup of tea, and a crossword puzzle. She stuck a gratitude note inside the fridge door. Ripe tomatoes, a walk in the park, dinner with Sarah. Sarah was her neighbor, a lively widow who'd invited Clara to a potluck. Food was becoming a bridge back to connection. The transformation weeks later, Clara's fridge was unrecognizable. Neatly organized, it hummed with intention. She'd mastered the 10 forbidden foods, the smart fridge system, and the weekly cleanout. Her grocery bills dropped. No more wasted food. Her meals were healthier, with fresh produce and properly stored leftovers. She even started cooking again, inviting Sarah over for lasagna. But the real change was in Clara. The fridge project had given her confidence. She joined a book club at the senior center, started gardening, and even signed up for a cooking class. Her fridge wasn't just a storage space. It was a symbol of her resilience. Every time she opened it, she saw order, care, and possibility. One evening, Clara took a photo of her fridge, its shelves gleaming with purpose. She compared it to the chaotic before image in her mind. The difference was stark, and so was the feeling in her heart. Food wasn't just fuel, it was memory, connection, and joy. Clara was writing a new chapter, one meal at a time. The 5 fridge commandments. Clara taped a note to her fridge, a playful nod to her journey. 1. Thou shalt not refrigerate foods that hate the cold. Tomatoes, potatoes, onions, stay free. 2. Thou shalt label and date everything. Future Clara will thank you. 3. Thou shalt clean weekly. 5 minutes of calm is therapy. 4. Thou shalt eat what brings joy. Life's too short for bland. 5. Thou shalt check temperatures and zones. Safety is love. Clara's story spread through Maplewood. Sarah shared the flyer at the senior center, and soon others were cleaning their fridges, swapping tips, and rediscovering the joy of food. Clara became a quiet hero, proof that small changes could spark big transformations. As she closed her fridge door one night, Clara smiled. The sour smell was gone, replaced by the promise of tomorrow's meal. Her fridge was no longer a disaster zone. It was the heartbeat of her home, and she was ready to keep it beating strong. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this, please like and share with your friends. Your support keeps these stories alive. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss a new episode. And if today's story touched your heart, leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you. Take care, stay well, and see you in the next story.